right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, well, let's get started. Okay, this week we've got coming up Lunch and Learn, Gmail Print All. Who knows what that is?
I know it is. Yeah.
I know that it's very helpful. I heard about
I
it.
don't know how to do it.
Okay, well, that's a perfect chance for you to come today and learn that. Quick start with Kirsten today, 1:30. Purchase agreement with Sean Harper tomorrow. Validity and positioning with Janet.
Yes.
What is that about?
Having a valid position. How was that?
Ready to restate the class then. So, Pump Your Up production is going to be on Friday. That's going to be about setting goals for those of you who are in bold. So we're going to do something similar to what we're doing in bold, basically. So if you're not in bold, come to that class right there. Come to that little Friday thing. Monday will be closed for Labor Day.
Yay.
Yes. Tuesday, bold, fourth step. All right. Realtor Night at the Ballpark, Part 2. That is tomorrow night. I believe the tickets, there's still some tickets available. Who should they contact for the tickets? The board office or us here?
John Bueno with the Rawhide.
John Bueno. Okay, there's his email address right there if you want tickets. There's flyers out, I believe, so go ahead and sign up. All right, Realtor Resource Roundup. Who knows about this? This is kind of the first I've heard of it. Judy, you want to talk about it?
They're going to have some people that
Guest speakers.
Free
Okay.
lunch.
Okay.
Free lunch, and then they're going to have like some tech people and things where they're going to do a panel.
Okay.
And you can ask questions and things like that.
It's like
Okay.
an
What was the word
expo.
I wanted from
So
there?
guest speakers and free lunch is the takeaway then, right? Free lunch and guest speakers?
I think that it's also a way, if you've got affiliates
Mhm.
that may be a benefit to other realtors, that you can introduce them to, you know, with the idea maybe they'll sign up and become an affiliate.
Okay.
And several of them have that
Okay.
were not previously.
Maybe you have somebody in your pocket who you want to keep in your pocket, and then you just keep them in your pocket.
That's right.
All
We
right.
don't want them busy.
Well, that is Thursday, September the 10th at the Elks Lodge. All right. So I'm guessing it's kind of right after tour.
Commit anymore.
All right. Save the date, Saturday, October 17th. Wild Wild West Party. What? Who knows about this?
That's our community benefit.
That's a community benefit. Okay. Community
You know, we did
benefit.
it last year and lost all our money playing blackjack and.
Is it going to be at the Elks Lodge? Is it going to be at the Elks Lodge, or it's undetermined yet?
I didn't hear.
Okay.
More info to come.
So right there,
The
save the
same
date.
band that was there last year's gonna be here, midnight, whatever they are.
Okay.
We
Midnight.
just had a.
We're so well informed. We know exactly what's going on everywhere.
Yes.
The important thing is that date. Put it on your calendar, put a big question mark. All right? There you go. Okay, upcoming event, Turkey Trot, which happens right here on Thanksgiving, I believe. So Race Against Hungers. You can sign up at the front desk in Visalia to pick up the flyer and sign up. Or, I know Carly's done that before. Has anybody else done that? Anybody ran that?
What
It's like a
time
little
does that
marathon.
start?
I hear that at Turkey.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's early. It's pretty early morning.
3.
It's a 3K, yeah.
3+1.
Yeah.
Or you can walk it.
You can walk too.
You have to do it like a egg in the spoon thing?
Bring your big wheel. Bring your big wheel. All right, mark your calendar. September 9th, KW Cares fundraiser lunch. See Tasha Rader for tickets. $8 a plate. Keller Williams Family Picnic, Blaine Park, September 27th, 1 to 4 p.m. More information coming soon. And then October 21st, as we said before, Ryan Seacrest is coming to do the business planning clinic. Not the Ryan Seacrest, so don't get excited. A Ryan Seacrest,
Do we
okay?
know if there's a cost yet?
No, I think it's going to be just a cost of material, like $10, whatever it's cost for the materials, to cover the materials. But that's it, just to cover the materials, that's it. Welcome.
Yay!
Eric Silva. Also known as George Clooney. Christy Hilbers. Is Christy here? And we have Mandolin Harris. Connie and Cena in Hanford. Her son, Sebastian, is here. And her husband, Santos. So we had a family join the KW family. So,
Hey, that's awesome.
all right.
Can I
next.
say something?
Yes.
One of our new agents that joined us a couple weeks ago, he wasn't here last week, but he's here this week, Eric Montez.
Eric. Welcome, Eric. All right. Now, we want to have, yes.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh,
Newton's
Jeff.
here, too.
There, cheers.
Yes, wave, Jeff. All right, so now if we can get Natalie, Eric, Paul, and Bonnie to come up to do a little brief mega camp panel so they can share what they learned at mega camp. Black that out.
Oh, you're so good. You brought notes.
I just thought it'd be
You
better
brought
on
camera
camera.
notes.
All right. All right. I have to say, when we walked down 6th Street with this guy right
Oh
here,
my God.
we were just mob selfies everywhere.
It was like learning to travel with a celebrity. I didn't pay any attention to that.
It was true.
It's true.
Yeah, we started really.
All right, Connie, let's start off with you.
Okay.
Was this your first mega camp?
No, it's actually my third.
This is your 3rd mega camp, okay. And so, what were your expectations going in?
Probably recharge, remember, relearn, reactivate my brain where I should be. That was probably the biggest, just re-energize and get back on track.
Okay, and we know it was all yours' first mega camp, so what were
Yes.
your expectations going in, Natalie?
To learn about Keller Williams, just to get a vision of the company in the bigger sense, not just our local. So I also wanted to immerse myself in the culture since I made a big switch, and just thought kind of dive into the deep end of the pool and say I'm going for it, this is my new home. So learn as much as I can about it.
All right.
Yeah.
And did you learn a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Eric? What were you expecting going into mega camp?
I just wanted to go to Austin.
That's
He wanted to ride the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted to learn more about Keller Williams, what it's about, and I didn't know, so
Okay.
it was a good, excellent experience.
Okay. How about you, Paul? What were your expectations going in?
You told me I couldn't.
Yeah, you can't say anything bad. That's
I really didn't have a big expectation of what I expected to get out of it. I was quite surprised when I got there at the enormity of it. It was a great chance to see some of the vendors that they use, and the speakers were good.
So we're going to go back the same way, starting with you. What was your biggest aha or biggest surprise that you took away from mega camp?
Well, one of the things that I took away, the thing that's going to stick with me the most, and it was not so much as to what it does with real estate, but it's about you as a person. And Gary Keller made a statement that just kind of blew my mind when he said, we all make mistakes. Each and every one of us in this room are going to go out of here today and we're going to make a mistake. It's just going to happen. And he said, don't judge me on my mistakes. Judge me what I do after that. And that really hit home with me. So many times we'll get so down on ourselves because we screw up. Okay, great. That's just a lesson in life. Pick it up and go forward. And that was not real estate related. And that's a lot about what I got out of this was a lot of this stuff was life. This is life, not so much just your business deal, but it was just life. And the other thing was none of us really treat this like a lot of us don't really treat this like a real business, and this is big business. When you start thinking about the amount of commissions that you run through your business, it's big money. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. I had a great time.
He rode the bull too.
You did run the bull. Eric, same question. What's your surprised you the most or your biggest aha from mega camp?
You know, for me, I didn't realize, you know, that it's big business. And going back to what Paul was talking about, you know, failing, you know, if you're not failing, you're not growing.
Mhm.
And you become complacent. And you become complacent, you just die. So, you know, I noticed you can get bigger. And I realized that looking at, you know, coming to the mega camp that, you know, you have some serious people that have serious businesses. And it opened up my mind just to look bigger. So,
Okay. Natalie, same question?
You know, right along that same line, when I went, I had never been to, other than when we worked at Centix, I'd never been to a real estate convention before. It was with another franchise for almost 10 years, never went. What really amazed me was all the speakers are KW people. If you haven't been before, that is huge to me, that these were real life agents at various stages. Some had big teams, some didn't. But the potential was so huge. If you just work the system, like you don't have to do it all by yourself. And I had been kind of killing myself trying to do everything by myself. So here, one of the things, you could see these ginormous teams that are multi-state teams. They're expanding so huge. And it really was encouraging to say, you know what, I can definitely go a lot farther than I have gone. When you see them doing that and they're half your age, you know you can do more. You know? So it was really true. I mean, they may be smarter, but you know, anyway, it was just really neat to see too, the systems in place, seeing those people talk about how they're working these systems. And just, if you just stick to it, it can't help but work. So, you know, that was great. And if you haven't been to Mega Camp, it's not a big rah thing with tons of keynote speakers. It's panels of people giving everyday solutions to different topics. And there are so many takeaways that you can implement on whatever scale you're at. And that was great, I thought. You know, you could just implement anything.
Connie?
Probably the biggest thing too is that this is a huge business and there's people making huge money doing great things. It goes back to the basics and we all know what we're supposed to do, and I think that Gary really drove this home. We know what we're supposed to be doing and we've got to work that database because that is our business and it's a huge part of our business. And the biggest thing too is that is taking you to the next level. Don't get inside a box thinking that, you know, I've always been kind of popular, you know, for my accidental parties, accidental this, accidental that. Well, I've had an accidental business for years until I went to Bold last year. And for everybody that's going to Bold, hands the high five, man. I tell you what changed my business, which allowed me to grow, double my business almost last year because of Bold. And then also being at Mega Camp made me realize that I was living in a box and my accidental business was just waiting to be opened up and balloons come out. So it's going to take me to the next level. I hired my first administrative assistant at full time, and so it has. Keller Williams has changed my life completely. I've been fortunate to have a great business, but what Keller Williams has allowed me to do is follow a plan that's already there and not recreate anything. It's all there. And the people doing huge stuff is so exciting, and it isn't a rah-rah. It's an absolutely you just like draw. You got it. You know, it was amazing, and I've been doing this for 30 years, so I have changed my business completely, like in the last 18 months.
Wow.
There was a guy there that was on track, and it was one of the speakers. His GSI this year, and I'm sure it's with the team, was over $53 million.
And who was the police officer?
That was not the police officer.
Oh,
There
'cause
was a part-time police officer.
Yeah,
Well,
who
he's
decided-
not a police officer anymore.
Because his life's in danger, but no, anyway. Because he wanted to spend time in the UK.
Yeah.
So he opened they
yeah.
don't call it a market center, they call it it's a different word now. They had a bunch of new stuff because they're changing the red.
I think they call it Market Center spelled with R-E at the end instead of R.
Oh, okay. But this guy was amazing, yeah. He decided that that's where he wanted to spend time, so he took the opportunity, got out of that box, out of that, small area of thinking and opened, he has like 4 market centers for that. It's just amazing.
So Connie, what was the biggest one thing that you got out of it that you're going to implement?
Oh my
What's the biggest
gosh.
thing you're going to implement? or the thing?
Leveraging, hiring
Yeah.
that assistant and my database. My database is magical numbers for me, so it has really made me focus. She started Monday, and I can't believe how much we've already implemented. Of course, I worked all weekend to prepare for that because that's my job. That's my job, is to keep her busy and keep my business running.
Natalie?
Wow, I don't think there's one thing. I don't think there's one thing. For me, it's trying to systematize, get those systems in place, and so I'm in the process. I'm working with Heather Caudell, so I now have a transaction coordinator, so that was big. I'm taking bold, and that's huge. So for me, it's just getting, and the time blocking, the lead generation, that's, I mean, when you see how serious these people are about it and the fruits that come as a result of that action, I mean, I was inconsistent before. I mean, I would go after it, and then, you know, you get the fruit of your labor, and then you're working it, and then, wait a minute, I gotta get back to it. So just seeing that consistency, I think that's really key, very powerful. So for me, I think the lead generation is probably my biggest takeaway, to see what these people are doing and exploding.
Okay,
So for me, that's what I'm doing now.
thank you. Eric, what you gonna implement?
For me, it's you know, making the peace with the board and the master. There's a lot of things I still have to master, and most of you know I've been doing REO for the last 7 years, so most of my database is a bunch of banks. So essentially, I'm a new agent. That's what I'm doing.
Except you can go, like they said, I thought a huge one for Eric was, remember he said, there was an REO agent, and he went back and door knocked on all the people, and zero buyer agents had followed up once since they moved in.
Wow.
So that was huge.
There we go.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So if you bought a home from Eric, you guys better be careful.
And then the time blocking.
Yeah.
Time blocking at 24 hours, and you know, it made sense, you know, because you know, you go to the gym, and you go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and you miss a day, it feels kind of weird. Well, Gary Keller said, prospecting should be the same way. If you miss a day of prospecting, it should feel weird, and you should do it every day.
Yep. All right. Paul, how about you?
I came back and implemented a better program and keeping in contact with my previous buyers. I spend, and we all spend, a lot of money to create new business. But if we really start and look at that, what do we do for those folks that have already bought something from us? I was the king of that in my prior business. There was nobody that did it better than I did, and I had forgotten that. So I went back and implemented some of those same things that had made me very successful back then, and just tweaked them a little bit to put them back into place right here, and was able to come back in the 2 weeks the week that we've been back, and have already got 90% of those things implemented. You spend so much money to get new business. What are we spending to keep the business we already have? So that really struck home with me. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, and one of the most important things, was they really hammered on coaching, and I realized that I could be a coach. Because when I talked with Tony down there, Tony said, we don't teach you anything you don't already know. We just hold you accountable for those things that you know. So if you guys want to be coached by somebody that's not going to teach you anything, I'm only going to charge you $100 a month, and I'm going to hold you accountable for what you already know.
All right, is there anything else that any of you want to say about Mega Camp that you haven't already said? Ladies? No?
It's well worth the time and energy, and the fun part too is just hanging out with the people there. We had the best group, and you have such a great time. You know, even though you travel there, you travel back, you're laughing and talking, and Paul was trying to encourage somebody to go. It was Raina. Where is she? He goes, I don't care if you don't, what do you say? I don't care if you don't learn anything. You're going to laugh the whole time. Oh my God. At these hits. Yeah, it was really, it's just fun to hang out with everybody.
It was fun to hang, and I want to tell you, Jason wasn't lying. When we walked down the street with Eric,
my gosh.
I mean, people, especially women, are you George Clooney? Can we take a picture with you? I mean, this dude was stopping on the street.
And at the store, at the market center, we kept seeing Eric taking photos with all the people there. It was great. We were transparent.
Finally, we just told him that, yeah, Gary Keller fooling him.
He's our motivational speaker.
All right, thank you all for sharing. All right, so next we have Mr. Troy Guy. Come on up, Troy. All right, let's give Troy a big round of applause.
Okay, last week we talked about, and we got quite a few questions on that, so it's good we talked about it, but the multiple signer pages, and we thought we might bring up some other things that maybe you aren't aware of. And one is that if you take a listing that is in probate or a listing that is listed in a trust name, there are listing forms for each of those. Okay, so you do need to look those up. Those aren't standard listings, and they pertain to a trust and to probate. Remember, on multiple signers, you can have a multiple signer sheet. So if you have multiple sellers, maybe that are in different places, you can have one sign the listing agreement and then the other four or whatever sign the multiple signer sheet for the listing agreement, but you also have to do it for each additional. When you get an offer, you can have one person sign, the person that's here sign it. If the other four people are on title, they all need to sign the multiple signer sheet. Okay, we all got that? Yeah. Okay, very good. Housekeeping. So I wanted to touch on Mega Camp 2, and that it really is, I did not go this year, but it really is a big business, and one of the things we get a lot of calls on, and we fight really the mentality of the agents, is that we all see ourselves when we start in this business as kind of as an employee. How is the company going to treat me? How is the company going to do it? And really what we are is we're a shell of your company. We're the umbrella under which your company is being built. And we really, Gary Keller looks at it that way, and it kind of changes your perspective. So if you're looking at it that way, Ben Kinney asked when I went to his deal at Family Reunion 2 years ago, you know, and I've asked you guys this too, but to have that mentality of how much money do you want to make this year? And just, it's not a rhetorical question, just say it in your mind, that's how much money I want to make. And when I started in the business, Everett Ford, who's still in the business, was my mentor. He actually sold me my first house in this area. And so I kind of followed him around, and finally I asked him one day, you know, how much money do you plan on making a year in real estate? Like, what's your projected income? And he said, well, if I can't make $40,000, I will get out of the business. And I thought, $40,000, that's a pretty good chunk of change, you know. And Diana Kokoska, I'm in bold right now for my fourth time, you know, she would say double that. Okay, double that. And then double that again. In other words, how do you raise your ceiling of expectation? Ben Kinney said, how much money do you want to make? Okay, so if you were hiring someone to make that much money, whatever it is in your mind, what would you expect them to do on a daily basis? And to have that mentality, right? And why aren't you doing it? You know, if you want to make $53 million in GCI, what is that guy doing? What does he expect the people around him to do on a daily basis, and why aren't you running your business that way? Or if you're expecting to make $200,000 or $100,000, whatever it is, if you were to pay somebody out of your pocket, because that's how much money you're going to be giving up if you don't achieve your goal, if you're going to pay somebody out of your pocket, what would you expect them to do on a daily basis? And then why aren't you doing it? Okay, and that was really revealing to me, and that's from Family Reunion. But definitely, I did notice that a sign up for Mega Camp next year just came through on our emails. Check your email. You can get on a monthly payment for Mega Camp. I think it's what, $50 a month. It's something like that. And that, you know, $50 a month right now. But if you wait till the month before to decide if you're going to go, you're probably not going to go. And it really can impact your business, as you saw these guys stuff. All right. So go fight Sal.
All right, Main Street Escrow.
Hi everyone, we just wanted to say thank you so much. We have an 89% capture rate. In January we had 28, so we want to thank all of you for that. We really appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
All right. All right, Country Club Mortgage. Welcome up, Cindy.
Good morning. I just wanted to talk about the market a little bit. I know you guys have been watching the giant swings that we've been having in the stock market, which then also relates to swings in the MBS or mortgage-backed security market, which relates to rates. Rates really haven't had many changes. I looked this morning based on a $200,000 loan amount or purchase price with 720 credit score. Conventional was right around 4.25, FHA right around 4. So we're not seeing the big swings in rates yet. So it's a great thing to talk about with people who are on the fence, watching the markets, the instability of the markets. Great time still to get in on purchasing and locking in rates. After our discussion last week on TRID, I did make a real simple flow chart. If anybody wants it, I only think I have about 10 copies. I have it on email. If I don't get one to you today, if you want one, email me, let me know, I'll send it to you. Kind of really quick and simple. So of timelines, waiting periods that are going to be implemented next month. I'll set these back here. Okay? Any questions on mortgages, rates? Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Happy birthday to John Urbano. Wish him happy birthday on the birthday. Needs and wants. Bucket fillers. Wayne.
I want somebody to challenge Jody in beating me leads for the next VRE school that is set to begin Tuesday, October 13th.
How many leads has Jody given you so far?
6 or something like that.
11.
11.
He obviously hasn't checked his mail yet.
I haven't checked my mail today.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that by Jody.
So, and, she's giving me leads every day. The class has been just enormously successful. We're now averaging like 30 people per class. We start October 13th. We'll be done by the end of the year. Send me your leads, people that you know. Just give me a name and I'll do all the rest. Okay?
Yeah. At Mega Camp, they had Kaplan had a booth there, and I walked by and they saw, oh, by Southern California, Wayne. They use Wayne. Wayne's doing fantastic out there. Actually, they use Wayne's class as a basically a model how to teach other people how to do it.
Basically, ours is a pilot program that Kaplan and Keller Williams are trying to replicate now all over the country.
Awesome.
Any other needs and wants? Steve?
I'm Steve Lopez, if you guys don't know who I am. I'm part of the president of MLS also, and I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in Kingsburg that we put up on the market about 8 days ago. The people are purchasing another home, extremely motivated, just dropped to $20,000. So 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 229, 1,500 square feet in Kingsburg. If anybody say to people, you guys have any clients looking to buy down there? Okay?
All right.
I put a listing on MLS for a agent that works at Woodside. She's selling her home it's in the Windmills on Brickfield. So she's still looking for, obviously, a buyer. So bringing people out there. She'll be doing a price drop on Monday. So, okay.
Anyone else?
3-bedroom, 2-bath.
I did a nice one for any of your FHA buyers. It's a 3 and 2, 3-car garage, tile roof. It's over in Sequoia Heights, if you guys know where that little subdivision is off of Goshen between Lovers Lane and Ben Maddox. Real nice area. Utilities are very low, but we've got it for $215. He's extremely motivated, so who knows where he might go in the end.
Okay.
And then I've got another one that's in Tulare. It was built in '77. She's completely gone through in the last 2 years. It's got new AC, new roof, 50-year roof, complete new kitchen, French doors, new flooring throughout. She's pretty much gutted the house and redone it. Already purchased another property, so we're in escrow, so she's motivated. We've got it at $297, but yeah, bring us an offer, bring us whatever you got.
Anyone else? Wayne?
Linda and I have an upcoming listing of a newer home in southeast Tulare on Hoyt. I think the address is 3023 or 3032 Hoyt Court. It's a newer home in the end of a cul-de-sac, 2,500 feet, 2-story, 4 and 3, with all the usual bells and whistles. Nice home, competitively priced at probably around $315 is what we're going to get on that one.
All right.
Nice home.
My listing on Orangeville fell out of escrow. It's 6.5 acres, has 3 move-in ready houses on the property, has a softball field, has, you can board horses, host weddings, do a lot with it, and this price is $469.90.
Ooh, I can read the address on that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
All right. Anyone else? Eric?
I have a property coming up, it's not an REO. It's actually in San Cindy, it's a condo, and it's gonna be, priced well, probably right under 300,000, so I should have it next week.
Condo in
It's
San
on the
Cindy.
front of San Cindy.
All right. Cindy?
I have a fundraiser I'm working on for Tulare Animal Shelter. It's going to be November 7th. It's going to be called Trails for Tails. It's a dog walk up and down the Santa Fe Trail. You don't have to walk with the dog, but you can bring dogs. We're looking for sponsors and vendors. If anybody's interested, let me know.
Okay.
When is that?
November 7th is when we're holding it.
Anybody else?
I would like to
Rachel?
fill her.
Okay.
I'd like to fill Jason's bucket for continually supporting the MSC. I think you've done very good at approaching agents and getting them to use us again or for the first time. And hopefully we surpass the service and everybody's satisfied. But I don't think we'd be at the 89% capture rate that Jason approached everybody confident using us. So we appreciate it.
It's confident you guys would provide stellar service, so that's why I wouldn't have done it if I didn't believe you guys could do it, so thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, well then, let's make it a great day.
Yeah.